This jumps straight into the world of organized gangsters with a game that checks off felonies like they're a grocery list. Scarface, the world is yours. Based on the iconic movie, obviously, the game has you play as the infamous Tony Montana as he cuts a bloody swathe through Miami. To clarify the timeline, this is set after the film. You know the scene where Tony is very clearly and very obviously killed to death? Well, great news! He survived! The game then sees him building up his criminal empire once again, doing all the things he already did in the film. If you like crime and you like Al Pacino, play this game. There's something undeniably cool about American prohibition gangs. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe it's the hats, or the way they talk. This fella here is the real cat's pajamas, eh? Well, if you want to live out any fantasies as a mob boss of this time, check out Empire of Sin. As you can see, it's got the hats, the old-timey guns, and it comes with a healthy dose of racketeering and extortion. So this has a bit more of a strategy / empire management vibe to it. So great for all you budding masterminds and kingpins. Maybe not the pick if you want to masquerade as a goon or simply cause a bit of wanton destruction. But don't you worry your pretty little head. We've got loads of that type of thing coming up, if you know what I mean. There's something in the waters. I don't know what I'm saying. Let's talk about a game that was also a movie, that was also a book, that was probably on the back of a cereal box at some point. That's right, it's a triple threat. It's The Warriors. And it may be a bit old now, but it is still brilliant. The game revolves around your very own street gang and your battle to find your place in a seedy, gritty 1970s New York. Oh, not a metaphorical battle. No. Very literal. You are going to fight everything. Literally anything you can get your sweaty little paws on. You'll want to carve your way through the city, taking turf from other gangs which range from a bit quirky to downright bizarre. The gameplay is great. The fighting is brilliant, the audio design superb, and it's just a very good game. As is the film, and the cereal box. It probably deserves to be higher up on the list, doesn't it? Well, there's no justice in a list about injustice. Here's something that takes all the crime from thousands of different Asian crime movies and puts them all in one place. Sleeping dogs. You could call it GTA in Hong Kong. A bit derivative, but also kind of correct. It does have one thing that GTA lacks, however, and I can't quite put my finger on it. It's just got a sense of style and character that comes part and parcel with all those East Asian crime flicks. It's just cool. It's got an enticing atmosphere. And then all of a sudden, everything erupts and it's just super violent. And then it's calm and cool again. That ebbing and flowing between peaceful tranquility and over-the-top ultra-violence is pretty consistent throughout the whole game. And when you're not taking in the atmosphere, you'll be getting stuck in no end of illegal activities. You can't go 5 minutes without breaking a law. But it's all okay, because the main character is an undercover cop. It's his job, and as I always say, 400 wrongs and a right always make a right. I don't think it's actually possible to commit as many crimes in quick succession as you do whilst playing Payday 2. Granted, there's not a whole lot of variety, but it happens like all the time. The basic mission aim is to rob something. A bank, a casino, an old lady, a resort, any sort of thing that holds lots of money. You'll want to achieve that through stealth, cunning, or just blowing the whole bloody thing up. And it's not some rubbish about Robin Hood stealing from the rich victimless crime. No, there are victims, hundreds if not thousands of them. You'll know what I mean when you're on top of a bank shooting anyone who's brave enough to try and stop a man in a chicken mask making off with millions of dollars. It definitely leans into the more ridiculous side of the criminal world. But that is nothing compared to our next game. They don't come much bigger, louder, and more outrageous than Saints Row. This franchise is what happens when you morph together crime fiction with the outlandishness of the superhero genre. Hell, they embraced that whole angle. At one point in the franchise, the whole facade is dropped and you literally just become a superhero. A head-cracking, all-powerful superhuman who just so happens to love crime. There is nothing subtle here. No skimming the books or making money through slightly unscrupulous investments. Everything is full guns blazing. Stealth is only an option for cowards and nerds. the more you destroy, the cooler you are. And to keep up with the Saints Row crew, you've got to be pretty cool. Pretty cool. And now, on to my second favorite era of organized crime. Cowboy times, yeehaw! And nothing says hustling and wrangling quite like Red Dead Redemption 2. I don't need to tell you what a beautiful, magnificent game it is. You can see it. I'm showing you right now. Looks lovely, doesn't it? Now sadly, it's back to me, because you didn't come here for sightseeing, you came here for action. So get a load of this. Oh, all sorts of action. There's some more. Boom! Geez, that's a lot of action. See, you don't need a bunch of high-tech gizmos, machine guns, or car chasers to make a good criminal flick. You just need the right attitude. And these guys, they've got it. You can go about your day robbing trains, hijacking wagons, holding up banks, or just shooting it out with the old-timey fuzz. But despite all the bad things you will definitely do, you're not a bad person. But the game is a powerful story of crime and redemption. Lots of things are red, and oftentimes dead. I guess that's why it's called that. Huh. Oh yeah, I always wondered. Here we are in my favorite era of organized crime. Mafia-led 1930s Prohibition era. We're back to cool hats and funny voices. I just can't get enough. So this is Mafia, and it's all about playing as, that's right, you guessed it, the Mafia. So the first game takes place in the cool hats and funny voices time. And much like The Godfather, the sequels follow future generations in the 40s and 60s. Also like The Godfather, the first one is the best, so I'm recommending you play that. Just as all you fans of GTA would expect, it's got a big old open world to explore, tons of activities squirreled away, and just a boatload of crimes to commit. So much crime. The only difference is it's more old-timey crime, which I think is more innocent? I don't really know how it works. But it's not all reckless destruction and cigar toting. There's a great story running through each game, which will keep you engaged in between your various lawless sprees. Yes, we're here. I'm ready to talk about Grand Theft Auto now. You've been great for hanging along and enduring those other games, but now let's shine a light on the kingpin of crime games. If the whole concept of crime were to sponsor a game, it would almost certainly be this one. The franchise has built up its reputation over the years for acting as a playground for people to do whatever they want with no repercussions. But that really does pale in comparison to the world of lawlessness and malfeasance that exist in GTA Online. It's basically crime, the MMO. Robbery, running a meth lab, street racing, plane hijacking, punching people's doors, jaywalking, literally every crime I can think of, you can do in the game. It's ludicrous. It's so naughty, I actually feel a little bit bad when I play it. Like I need to do something good to make up for it, or curl up in a ball, or something like that. Maybe I'll just donate to a turtle or something. That's the thing I can't escape when I play these games. I reach a point and I do just feel dirty. So my top pick isn't more violent, isn't more bloody, and isn't nastier or meaner or more outrageous than GTA. It's the one that doesn't make me feel a little bit ugh when I play it. Let's see what it is. When you first look at it, the Yakuza series seems gritty as hell. A look at Japan's sordid criminal underbelly. But then you peel things back a bit and take a closer look, and the series as a whole is just, I don't know. How do you even describe a man fighting against a lobster? Okay, so quick disclaimer, I'm not the most tuned in to what actually goes on after dark in Japanese mob dens. But I'm very certain that it can't possibly be this. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe dressing up as babies is a normal part of life for Yakuza goons. Whatever way you look at the franchise, it's just fun. Yes, there is a somber tone at times, but it takes that seriousness and mashes it together with a whole bunch of crazy. It's like taking Violent Cop and intersplicing bits from the most batshit crazy Japanese game show you can find. And that's it. That's the game. I'll be honest with you on something. Everything on this list, they're enjoyable. But I do reach a point with them where I just feel exhausted. I'm tired of the violence. I don't want to launder money anymore. Please, can we just lighten the mood with a little bit of slapstick? And Yakuza is the only one that gives me what I want. I don't ever feel terrible playing this game. Who could? You'd have to be a real lowlife to not feel unmitigated joy whilst playing it. Yes, there is a ton of bad stuff going on, and you are a criminal in the Yakuza games. But you're not a very good one. somewhere along the way you'll end up accidentally doing good, just because you're so incompetent. And that's about as wholesome as organised crime gets. And there we have it, a bunch of games bursting at the seams with crime. And I can tell already, all you lot up in arms at me for not putting GTA at the top spot. Cry me a river! It's a list about villainy. You should have seen this coming a mile off. Everyone backstabs everyone in this world. I just betrayed you. You'll probably one day betray me. It's an endless, horrible, exhausting cycle.